Okay, we are still Senate institutions and it is still February the 12th. And now we are going to hear from the Vermont Council on the Arts, and Michelle Bailey is here.
Yeah.
We can introduce ourselves because I don't know if you know her, but
I don't know everyone. I know some.
okay, so I'm Wendy Harrison, chair of the committee.
Senator Russ Engels, Essex District.
Yes.
Senator Joe Major, Whizzer.
Senator Rob Plunkett, Bennington.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, and we had a great presentation in transportation about the arts, and it's just wonderful that the arts is moving into all of these realms, and it's great that you are here to tell us about it.
Thank you for having me. My name again is Michelle Bailey. I'm the senior program manager at the Vermont Arts Council, and I oversee all of our public art programs. So if we can put the slide up there. That is my coworker, and Catherine also, just to snap a few photos of me talking. They can help me with the moving through the presentation.
What section are you on? What section? Do you remember? On the Capitol Bill?
It should be a line item for the Art and State Buildings program. I'm not sure which section it's in.
No.
Um,
Well, we'll find it.
okay. But I'm here today as part of Vermont's Creative Network's Creative Sector Day. Vermont's creative sector, and that's all the businesses, nonprofits, and individuals whose work is rooted in creativity, is a significant driver of our state's economy. In 2022, arts and culture was a nearly $1.2 billion industry in Vermont. Our work strengthens our communities, brings people together, and builds our economy. We are tabling in the card room today as well and invite you to stop by. There are little puzzles that have been made by our friends at the Generator Makerspace. And we're also hosting a reception in the Cedar Creek room at 3:30 with performers from Circus Smirkus and cookies and coffee and things. So, but what I'm here specifically to tell you about today is the Art and State Buildings program. We are actually celebrating 35 years of commissioning artists through this program. And I wanted to share some images with you of just a handful of the projects that we've done over the years. Also, before I forget, there is a little flyer here on Vermont's creative economy. I'm just going to pass it around to you. It's at our table, but it does give more statistics about that. That's a little separate from my presentation, but wanted you to have that data. Next. So the Art and State Buildings program is one of two programs that the Arts Council administers in partnership with the Vermont Department of Buildings and General Services. The other one is the Cultural Facilities Grant Program that we won't talk about today, but both are part of our mission at the Arts Council to cultivate and advance the arts and creativity throughout Vermont. We know that by investing in public art in Vermont's public spaces, we create environments of distinction and pride where people want to live, work, and visit. And this sculpture is of a trout at the Vermont Fish Culture Station in Roxbury, and it honors the native history of Vermont waterways. It symbolizes the mission of the Fish Culture Station to steward healthy waterways in Vermont. Next. In 1988, the legislature passed the Vermont Art and State Buildings Act, which allocated $50,000 annually to enhance the Capitol building projects through the acquisition or commission of site-specific artwork by Vermont artists. In 2023, the legislature updated the statute and the funding process to include a line item in the capital budget with a minimum request of $75,000. And these are some glass banners that were installed at the Vermont Department of Public Safety and Forensics Lab in Waterbury.
And that was our bill with the funding process.
Yes, yes. The program enhances, next, please. The program enhances our cultural and working environments, provides artistic enrichment for Vermont citizens and visitors, and supports and promotes the work of Vermont artists. The Newport State Office Building has many pieces of artwork, including a leaf mobile, a photography installation in the lobby, a salmon sculpture weather vane atop the building, and a granite trout outside the building on the public plaza.
So that's a trout.
Yeah.
That's a big trout.
Next, please. Since the program began, we've installed permanent works of art from over 60 artists in 35 state-owned buildings and public spaces across Vermont. Next. The commissions are site-specific, meaning they're created in response to the place and the community in which it resides. This sculpture, entitled Big Frog, connects the work of the Agriculture and Environmental Lab in Randolph Center. Next. The art is free for the public to experience. In Bennington, the artist created kinetic sculpture that are in a more abstract way, connecting with the work at the courthouse and the state offices at the site, representing concepts of differing and unanimous opinions. Next. Public art can stimulate economic development and encourage cultural tourism by attracting visitors. At the northbound Interstate 89 rest area in Williston, there is a steel sculpture representing a plow that sits alongside the visitor center and its agricultural themed landscape. Next. Public art engages community members in a civic dialogue, providing citizens with an opportunity to articulate what's important to them about their community. This image represents a community brick carving project that was done after Tropical Storm Irene hit. And we were working on that glass banner project at the forensics lab. And the artist did a community brick carving process with the local community members after they had to put the project on hold because of the flooding. And they carved a lot of the bricks, and then those are in the pathways in the ground near that banner. Next. It contributes to health, public health. Creating interesting and beautiful places provides incentives for people to get out, to get physical activity, and it often reduces stress because people feel safer in their environments. This mural reflects the forest landscape around the facility at the River Valley Therapeutic Residence Center in Essex, and it's painted on the side of the metal siding that was that's the gymnasium that is adjacent to the courtyard for the residents to be outside. So next, artwork can also provide educational opportunities at the site, expanding knowledge and understanding of the place. In Pittsburgh here at the Vermont Fire Academy, there are groups of sculptures hung on the walls representing the important tools of command, which is the name of the piece, for each of the groups of the firefighters and their responsibilities when fighting fires. So there may be a group that's in charge of water, another one on inside. I don't remember all the exact groups, but that's what all those groupings represent. Next. Sharing unique stories about your community through public art can enhance civic pride and create a sense of attachment and connection. The artist here spent much time in the community and connecting with the local public safety officers when creating a series of paintings that reflect the work of the public safety officers and also St. Albans' connection to the maple industry. Next. Here are some more examples of artwork commissioned around the state. This is a stone carving in etched glass at the Family and District Courthouse in Brattleboro. Next. This is a stone sculptural water feature at the Vermont Psychiatric Care Hospital in Berlin. Next. On the left is an oil painting installed in the State Office building in Springfield, representing the Black River and the Compton Falls that flows through town. And the wall relief shown on the right honors Springfield's heritage as a machine tool center. The piece is composed of actual real wooden pallets and ball bearings and gears. Next. Another example of an oil painting here is one of the many that we've done in a few public safety facilities that have artwork in conference rooms and lobbies. Next. And this is a detail of a larger mural installed at the Vermont Agency of Human Services in Waterbury. It was inspired by a poem from a former patient at the Vermont State Hospital that was at the site for many years. And this is a collage of imagery with paintings and trees painted over the top. Next. And some of the artwork is integrated into the architecture itself. This is a marble floor of the main lobby at the Addison County Courthouse with images related to the Four Seasons in Addison County. Next. And this sculpture is at the Vermont Veterans Cemetery in Randolph. The sculpture represents a Morgan horse, a breed developed by Justin Morgan, who lived with his family in Randolph, bowing its head in honor and remembrance of its lost companion. And then also just a note about the process is that we partner with BGS to do the commissioning work. Once the work is installed, it then becomes part of the state collection, which is overseen by the state curator. So next. And then, so those are just a few examples. There are many more that are available. We have a public art map on our website that has a lot more information about the inspiration and the artists and the locations. You're welcome to visit it. It's at our website at vermontartscouncil.org, and looking up the public art map, you can find it there if you'd like. I think the link might have been sent to your materials if you want to dig in deeper. I'm still working on, I've got about 80% populated. It's not quite complete yet, but I'm working on finishing it up. So next. So I just want to thank you for this opportunity to share a little bit of the Art and State Buildings program and its history so far. And it demonstrates the powerful role that the arts and culture play across Vermont across many sectors and in all facets of Vermont life. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
That's really great. Thank you.
35 years. Of
It's wonderful stuff.
What are you commissioning, next? I mean, I think we did some, work, but what's the next commission?
Yeah, right now we're in the middle of a process for the Windsor Courthouse down in White River Junction. They're doing some renovations there. We've just had a meeting yesterday with, we have 5 artist finalists who are working on developing some concepts for us. We will also be doing some down in Rutland at the Asa Bloomer building in that mill interior space. And then we also have the Legislative Advisory Committee approved the correctional facilities up in St. Albans, and there's one more. What's the other one? Sorry, there's one more that we have in the.
I think I approved it, and I can't remember.
Yeah, it will come to me in a minute. For Jen's, the youth, getting the youth residents for recovery is kind of,
Yes.
right? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name of.
No, it's hard. There's all those different categories.
Yes. So those are on, they have been approved in past years with our funding, so we're just kind of waiting for the right kind of time in the process to get those lined up. But we do have.
Okay, and you're in our budget.
Yeah.
Did you, anybody else?
I didn't find it, but I know it's there someplace.
Yeah, it's there someplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Great.
Always a supporter of art, and, yeah, it's very, very good. Appreciate what you do.
Well, thank you very much. And thanks for letting me come in and share some of the images. It's hard to get around all these places. So we thought we'd try to bring some of the images to you. And we also, with that map now that we're
No, that's
putting
great.
up for a lot, people can find it.
And then when we're in a place.
Yeah,
we can be looking
yeah,
for the art
yeah.
too.
And when will you decide who will do the what production project?
The process is we're going to, the 5 artists we met with yesterday, just had an orientation to the project, and they will be doing some presentations for us and the committee, which will be open for anybody who wants to observe in hopefully March. I'm trying to schedule those, and from those presentations, we'll pick the artist or artist team to work with us to develop the specific design. So hopefully by April, we'll know who the artists are, and then we'll start developing the design.
I would like that. That is my town. So I would
Okay,
like
yeah.
to,
Great. I'll send you info as soon as we have the dates and things set up.
that'd be awesome.
And once we do the presentations, the artists are asked to just give us their concepts, and we post those on our website for a while and allow public comments and things like that. So, and then the committee ultimately decides, but who they want to work with.
Sure.
And sometimes they go with the concept the artist selected or presented, I should say. And sometimes they say, well, we really like this artist and we like the way they work, but maybe we can develop a design in this kind of, different space or different themes or whatever. It's a very much a collaborative process. So we'll do that with the committee. So
Great, and just want to note, it's on line 5 and it's 75,000 in each of the 2 years, 26 and 27.
Sure.
So you're there.
great. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Good to see you again.
Yes, you too. And yes, you're welcome to come to the reception.
It's a good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Making those fish.
Yes, making those
Yeah.
fish, yes.
It's really-